Shalom, this is DC with the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge, Charlotte on West, 125th Street, New York, and Commanding General YAHANNA. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth of the Bible. The truth is that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians are the true Jews according to the Bible, and our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. We've been saying this since 1969. Nothing has changed. Not one single word of what we say has changed. Why? Because the scripture has never changed. Everything we say is coming from the scripture. It's coming from our holy text, our Constitution. Tonight we're going to get back into 2 Samuel's 13. 2 Samuel's 13. That we left off where the brother Amnon tried to he was trying to rape his sister. He is a son of King David. He tried to rape his sister. Tamar says she was very fair in his sight. He had a demon on him that he just could not get her off his mind. He was thinking about his sister, not in the way a brother should think about his sister, but in a very lustful and incestuous way. He could not control himself, and what he should have done was gone to a man of the Lord and talk to them, get some counsel from them about what was going on. Instead, he went to a friend of his, and this friend had just so happened to be his cousin. And his cousin gave him the absolute wrong counsel. That's why it's very important to seek counsel from men the Most High has ordained. You know what I'm saying? Because if we lean, if we get us the understanding from ourselves and from other people who are not following these laws, statutes, and commandments, who do not have the spirit that the Most High put on them, we're gonna be in our same captivity, whether it's back then or whether it is now. We're just gonna be destroyed, totally destroyed. And what this counsel that his brother gave his cousin was totally. It was a lustful filled counsel. He was basically telling him, "You want her? Go and have her. Go and take her." That's basically what he's saying. It doesn't matter if it's your sister. It doesn't matter if it's wrong. It doesn't matter if no one in Israel does this thing. Go ahead and do it. And that's what we have to learn how not to do. This is what we have to learn to do is actually fight our demons. One of the ways that we actually fight our demons is actually get counsel. Get counsel from men of the Most High. Get counsel from men in the I.S.U.P.K. who are authorized to teach the scriptures. Once we actually do that, we are leading not only our men, but we're building our community. We're building community from community, city, country to country, and soon after we'll be in our own land. We'll be having our own kingdom. Why? Because the Most High will actually see that we are after His heart, and He will actually see that we can actually take control of our situation under Him, under His directions. But until that day, we're stuck in this captivity. We're stuck in this captivity. What verse we left off of? Verse. What was the chapter again? 2 Samuel 13. Let's go to. Let's go to verse 7. Let's go to verse 7. And young man, when you got it, read it out loud and strong, Bible Shah.
Come. 2 Samuel, chapter 13, verse 7. Then David sent home to Tamar, saying, "Go now to thy brother Amnon's house and dress him meat."
All right, so we're picking up where we left off. What's going on is, like I said, Amnon lusted after his sister. He lusted so bad after his sister, he could not sleep. He could not do the normal things. He thought that the lust for his sister was just so strong. So he went to his cousin, and his cousin told him, "Act like you're sick, and then when your father comes around, when the king comes around, tell him that you want Tamar, your sister, to make some food and feed you. And because you're his son and because you're sick, he's not going to deny you this request." So once he goes to Tamar and tells her to take care of your brother, take care of you, she's going to do that. And that's exactly what he did, what he's going through. You got a question?
SHALAM, you may not mean they might still stop here. We left off on verse 13.
We left off on verse 13. Well, yeah, we're going to keep on going from here. We're just going to go through it. Throughout it, though. Keep going.
Verse 8. So Tamar went to her brother Amnon's house, and he was laid down.
Right? So he's pretending that he was sick. Right? He's going through with this plan. He already told his father, the king, that he was pretending that he was sick. He told his father, the king, that he was sick, and he requested his sister Tamar to come and take care of him. So his sister Tamar is coming there. Now he's faking that he's sick. Keep going.
And she took flour and kneaded it and made cakes in his sight and did bake the cakes.
Right, keep going.
Verse 9. And she took a pan and poured them out before him, but he refused to eat.
But he refused to eat. I wonder why. I wonder why he refused to eat. Maybe because he wasn't sick and he wasn't hungry. He was hungry for something else. He was hungry for the lusts of his own disgusting heart. Keep going.
And Amnon said, "Have out all men from me." And they went out, every man from him. Verse 10.
Now, we went over this. Why were there men in his house?
Because they were royalty. They were gods.
Right, exactly. So he told everybody, he told all the men to get out. Why did he tell everybody, all the men to get out?
Because that would only leave Tamar.
Not only that, it would only leave Tamar, but how would he continue on with his plans if the men were in there?
He couldn't.
He couldn't, exactly. Kind of gave that away, but I'll try to do better next time. But keep going. Keep going.
Verse 10. And Amnon said unto Tamar, "Bring the meat into the chamber, that I may eat of thine hand." And Tamar took the cakes.
All right, hold on. He said, bring the meat into the chamber. Where were they if he wasn't in the chamber?
In the dining room.
Yeah, most
eating
likely.
area.
He wasn't in. What is the chamber?
The bedroom.
Yeah. So he kicked all the men out so that they wouldn't stop him from doing this evil thing. Then he told his sister to bring the food in the bedroom. This is what he's telling his sister to do. His blood sister. Come on into the bedroom and feed me. Keep going.
SHALAM. And Tamar took the cakes which she had made and brought them into the chamber to Amnon her brother.
Right. So she did as he asked. Right, because she really didn't have any reason to mistrust him. He's her brother. You know what I'm saying? He's the son of a king. He's a prince. He's her brother. Why should she have any reason to believe he's about to do something so evil and vile and disgusting? So she did as he asked.
And she also following the order that her father gave.
Exactly. She's following orders. Keep going.
Verse 11. And when she had brought them unto him to eat, he took hold of her and said unto her, "Come lie with me, my sister."
He took hold of her. What does that mean?
He grabbed her.
Yeah. He forced her. He forced her and said, "We're gonna do this thing." It wasn't a request. It wasn't in his eyes. It wasn't a request. He's telling her, "Hey, yo, we're gonna do this. This vile, disgusting thing." Keep going.
Verse 12. And she answered him, "Nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel."
She said, "No, do not force me. Nothing. We do not do this thing in Israel. We don't. It's kind of fun because not this instance, but just what she said. We do not do this thing in Israel. It's like we hear some wild, crazy stuff on the news, or we hear about some wild, crazy stuff. It's like some new trend or some new challenge in particular. Or the way certain people do certain things, and we're like, yo, black people don't do that. Hispanic people don't do that. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing new. She said it way back when, and we still saying that now. This is not something we do not lie with animals, with dogs and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? That's not something we do. We're not incestuous. There's certain other people that does this on a regular basis, and they're right next door, a whole nother state right next door. That's leave that there. But we don't do this stuff. And that phrase is, black people don't do that. Hispanic people don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Native Americans do not do that. Everybody else does that, and this is exactly what she said. Israel does not do this. You got something?
Yeah, two things. Now, you said that taking a guess, she meant West Virginia. Okay, and then
exactly.
Yeah, for two, to bring it in the modern terms, like where they do that at?
Exactly. Yeah, that ain't us.
That ain't us.
We don't do this thing. Keep going.
Do not thou this folly. Verse 13. And I, whither shall I cause my shame to go?
So she's saying, like, you doing this, how is my shame going to be put away? I'm going to be shamed in all of Israel now. You doing this, you are shaming me for life. I cannot, take this thing that you're doing off of me. Just like I was saying, last time, a lot of I brought out the statistics. There's only 4% of people who actually commit sexual crimes actually get jail time. And those numbers are so low, most victims of sexual assault do not come forward because they're ashamed. Not only because they're ashamed, but they feel that they can't get any justice. And it's unfortunately in the black community is running rampant. Captain Zariak has done many lectures, and he's a stalwart in being an advocate for sexual assault victims, especially children. If there's he's taking it upon himself to be that that defender when people need some justice, they come to him. Why? Because he's the one who's not scared to speak out. You know what I'm saying? He's the one who goes and tries to get people to tell their stories and actually out the not the accused, but out the perpetrator. You know what I'm saying? He's the one that's trying to get the story out so that they can get some sort of justice. Let them know that what happened to them was not their fault. You know what I'm saying? And most sexual assault victims keep it to themselves because one, the shame, and two, statistics wise, they don't get no justice. They get no justice for it. 4%. That's the rate of justice that sexual assault victims get. So none of them comes. They don't come forward when something like that happens. And a lot of times, it's when these victims are these sexual assault victims is by someone they know, whether it's their boyfriend, whether it's a close family member, whether it's members in their own family. And some, when they actually do come out, the members and the other members in their family turns against them. It's a shame. It's a shame. So she's saying, how can you causing this shame on me? How can I put this shame away? You had something, brother?
Sorry, just as, and I don't want to assume, so just as here, there, and there means here and there, whether means where.
Yeah. I see what, yeah, it does. It does. Keep going.
And as for thee,
and as for you,
thou shalt be as one of the fools in Israel.
Thou shalt be as one of the fools in Israel. You're going to be a nasty, disgusting bastard. And everybody's going to know what you did. And you're going to be as Cain was back in the day. Everybody's going to know who you are and what you did. You're going to be a pariah, a leper in Israel. Where at this time, we had our own kingdom. You know what I'm saying? We had our own land. We had a place of refuge. We had our own army. You know what I'm saying? We in a place like that, where we're surrounded by enemies, people didn't like us, and even at this time we're at war. We're literally at war at this time. You're going to be a leper. You know what I mean? So you're going to be an outcast if you do this. She's trying to talk some sense into him. She's trying to talk some, tell him what you're doing not only is wrong, but the consequences is going to be very severe. When they say fool, is we kind of say fool as in as something that's very weak nowadays. But back then, someone who was a fool is very strong. You know what I'm saying? It's something you did not want to be. You did not want to be associated with. You did not want to be called that. She's trying to tell him, knock some sense into him as best she could. Do not do this. You're causing shame. You're putting shame on me, and you're going to be a fool in all of Israel. Keep going.
Now, therefore, I pray thee, speak unto the king, for he will not withhold me from thee.
So she's saying, she's trying to buy herself some time. Do you think King David would give his daughter to his son?
Not a lie.
So why do you think she's saying that?
To get away. Exactly.
She's trying to buy herself some time, because once she actually gets out of that chamber, out of that house, and under the protection of her guardsmen and her family who actually cares about her, she can get away from this. So she's trying to talk him off the ledge. She tried with the consequences of what's going to happen to her. She tried with the consequences of what's going to happen to him. And then she's trying to lead him to a way out by saying, if you want me, all you have to do is go to the king. You got me here because you went to the king, so go back to the king and you can do it properly. You can do it properly. And he won't deny you. So she's trying to deter him from this nasty, disgusting thing that he's about to do. She's trying to save her life and save him from himself. Let's see if he takes the bait. Keep going.
Come. Verse 14, howbeit he would not hearken unto her voice.
What does that mean? Howbeit he would not hearken unto her voice. What does that mean?
He wasn't listening.
Right.
In one ear, out the other.
Exactly. He wasn't listening. He only had one thing on his mind. This is all he thought about for however long that this demon was on him. He just thought about it day and night and day. Now he has her in his grasp, and he ain't trying to hear about anything that can deter him from his mission. Basically, his mission, that demon, his mission is to get him killed. That's what that demon's mission is doing. And that demon's mission right now is succeeding because he said he ain't, like you said, went in one ear, right out the other. He wasn't listening to her. He wasn't trying to hear. This demon is succeeding. She's fighting that demon. He's not. Keep going.
But being stronger than she.
But being stronger than she. Why is that important that it said that?
Being stronger than she?
Uh-huh.
Because he's forcing.
Exactly. It's saying that she fought back. It's saying that she fought back. She didn't want this thing. Even though she tried to talk him out of it, she still fought him. Saying, being that he's stronger than her, keep going.
Forced her and lay with her.
So he forced her and lay with her. She did not go gently into that good night. She fought her. She tried to fight her way out of this evil, this vile, disgusting thing that her brother is putting her into. Her brother. And honestly, it doesn't even matter if it was her brother or not. Forcing yourself on a woman that doesn't want. What kind of a person are you to do something like that? What I honestly do not understand. If a woman tells you, hey, I don't want, step your game up. You know what I'm saying? Just get some more game. That's all you need. That's all you need in order to get a woman. Have some game. Have some sort of swag to you. And he was the son of a king. He could have had damn near any woman he wanted. You know what I'm saying? He was the son of a beloved king at that. Everybody loved David. Everybody, he could have had anybody he wanted. And he forced himself on his own sister. You got something?
You said what type of person would do that? A person that's possessed.
That doesn't fight their demons. Person that does not fight the demons, that give into their lust, that listens to whatever that demon is telling them to do, even though they know it's wrong. Even if you don't know it's wrong, you need to go to you need to go to a priest and prophet and tell them, hey, should I do this? Should I do that? What about this? What about this step? Should I do this? They may say, you got a point. Yeah, go ahead. You should do that. That's a good move. Or no, that is evil and wicked. Do not do anything like that. Get that out of your mind. Purge yourself of that thing that you just brought to me. And you will have a better life by doing something like that. But he didn't do any of that. He didn't fight his demon. He went into his lust and fought his sister and raped her. Keep going.
Verse 15.
So he raped her. He didn't listen to reason. He didn't listen to threats. He didn't listen to he fought his way to lay with his sister. This is what happened. So he did all this because he loved her so much. He thought about her so much. This is what he did to lay with his sister. Read the next verse. You got something?
SHALAM, to bring back a previous verse. He fell sick for.
Exactly. He was so infatuated with her, because I'm not even going to say love with her. He was so infatuated with her that he was sick. He couldn't do anything. Read verse 15. Verse 15.
Then Amnon hated her exceedingly.
Then he hated her exceedingly. As soon as he got what he wanted, what happened? Why did he do that?
The demon retreated.
Exactly. The demon got his job done. The demon did exactly what he was supposed to do. And what is the job of a demon?
destroy you, to kill you.
This act that that Amnon did, essentially, well, let's take it back. What is the punishment for rape?
Death.
Brock, can you give me that law, Baba Shaw?
Go.
Death for the one that raped their own.
Right. We're gonna get that in a minute. The job of a demon is to say that again one more time.
It's like to get you killed.
It's to get you killed. So as soon as that demon got you to do that thing that will get you killed, there's no reason to be in your ear anymore. So he, just like I said, read that from the top again, verse 15.
Verse 15. Then Amnon hated her exceedingly.
That demon left, and he realized what he was doing. Keep going.
So that the hatred wherewith he hated her was greater than the love wherewith he had loved her.
So this dude, just like you said, he loved her so much that he was sick. He could not work. He could not, eat. He could not do everyday household things. He could not enjoy himself. He loved her so much. But after he got what he wanted, after the demon got what he wanted, he hated her more than what he loved her, supposedly.
Shalom, my man. Like that one, I'm not trying to assume, but like it's almost sound like that demon fell back and another one jumped on. But now he hate her. He probably want to kill her.
He did hate her. I wouldn't. For time's sake, he didn't kill her. He probably did want it, but I'm not going to say what he probably would do or what he probably wouldn't do, because that's not what's actually in the scripture. So what we can say is he hated her. That's what we can say. And I know, at least I'm speaking for the old man, where, we've wanted something so bad, and then as soon as we got it, we look at it like, what the hell did I do? What was that? Why did I do that? You can't even understand why one, why you wanted it so much, and two, why you actually did it. Now your senses are coming back, And and I'm not even gonna say it had to be something, in a sexual nature. A lot of, especially you hear a lot of recovering addicts. They whenever they talk about their experience, whenever they're getting high, they'll say, like, as soon as they get high, like, why did I do this? They feel remorse. They like, I hate myself for actually doing this. You know what I'm saying? They come down off that high and be like, man, this is wrong. I shouldn't do this. I don't want to do this. Most drug addicts, if not all of them, most drug addicts don't actually want to be addicted to those drugs. They know it's wrong. It's just that they're not strong enough to fight that demons to actually get high. And once they actually realize, they're getting high and whatnot, and they're coming down off of that high, they hate what they just did. Right. That's exactly what what this dude is feeling. Right. He did something that he, in his right mind, wouldn't have done. But since he wasn't strong enough to fight his demon, he did it. And when he came off of that high, he hated the victim. How are you going to hate her? She's the one who's trying to talk him off the ledge. You know what I'm saying? She fought him tooth and nail. She tried to talk some sense to him as well. Keep going. Yeah, what you got, something?
I still may ask, because I can't figure for the life of me too. Like, he was just loving her, and that's what I'm saying. Maybe it was a different demon that came on, even though it doesn't say that, because that's two extremes right there. He just was like love sick for her. Now he hates her, like, because she had something on him now that could take him down. Like, I would think it would be like you said, like when a junkie come off. Now they like dang, I just feel bad. But nah, he hated her. You know what I mean? That's the two opposite ends of the spectrum. And no gray area.
There is no gray area. There is no gray. It's like Cap, we're if I could, we're going over Amnon and Tamar when Amnon just raped Tamar's sister, and it said, you know, right after he raped her, he said he hated her exceedingly. He had a demon on her to rape her in the first place.
Right.
After he raped her, was that another demon that came?
Lights on outside.
Was that another demon that came on him that make him hate her?
No,
right after that?
No, he hated her from the start. He never loved her. He hated her from the start. That's why he wanted to rape her. He hated her from the beginning. It's not two different feelings. It's one. But to him, he's gonna say he love her because he want to have sex with her. He don't love her. That's it from the beginning. He do not love this girl. He's taking this girl because he has a hatred for his father. Taking the girl is to hurt his father. You get the point? It's not about love. So when the demon left him, the demon that made him do the act is now gone, and now what really was there is what was there from the beginning, which was hatred. He hated the girl all along. That's all it is. The demon is the one who justified it in his mind as love, but it was not love. And she knew it was not love. That's why she was trying to get him to not do the shit. And she was wise with it because she knew it was a demon. But he let the demon lead him, and now he did it, and now he hates her for that because he was hating her all the time. He hated his father. He hates himself. That's just how it is when you have a demon on you. You hate the broad after because you can't believe she had sex with you.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, you don't treat her good because you know you ain't shit any goddamn way. Right. And now she had you, so she must be ain't shit no way. But he always hated her. This is Absalom?
Amnon, sir.
Amnon?
Con, sir.
He died, right? He got killed?
Con, sir.
I'm confused then. I thought it was Absalom.
Well, Absalom was the one that did it.
Absalom is the one that
avenged his sister.
But then Absalom got killed.
Afterwards, constantly.
Okay.
Sometime later, so yes.
I believe he wanted the kingdom too, right? No, he just wanted the girl.
He just wanted the girl. Absalom wanted the kingdom.
Right. He never loved that girl. He never loved her. If he did, he would not want her. Because that's his sister. He was just full of lust. In the person's mind, it's not realistic. Mm-hmm. In his mind, this makes absolute sense to do this shit. But then after is, oh my, look what I've done. Right. But he never loved the girl in the first place.
The wild sir. No, sir. Brock, you got that law?
Yeah, the book of Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die.
So what he's saying is, if a man finds a woman, some fake groups take that as you can do it just as long as she's not engaged. Betrothed means engaged, courting someone. So they take that and say, well, you can do it if she doesn't have a man. That's not the case. You can't do it at all, period. If you take someone and force them to lay with you, you are raping them, and the punishment is that man is going to be put to death. Right. Just like what Amnon did. His punishment should be put to death. Let's continue on reading.
Oh, yeah, Second Samuel.
Yeah, Second Samuel, yeah.
And Amnon, verse 15, want me to take it from the top?
Yeah, let's take it from the top.
Verse 15, and then Amnon hated her exceedingly, so that the hatred wherewith he hated her was greater than the love wherewith he had loved her. Right. And Amnon said unto her, arise, be gone.
So he's like, yo, get out of here. I don't even want to see you. I don't want to look at you. 2 seconds ago, he thought he was in love with her. After he did what he did, now he can't stand looking at her. Told her to get the hell out. And that's something. That's something what our people like right now does. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not talking about the force and the rape part. I'm just talking about you what the brothers do unknowingly or subconsciously. What they do is they'll spit game to a woman, get her in the sheets, and tell her get the hell out. I got you this Uber. You can't stay tonight. It's so bad that it's like we have like comedy sketches on it. You know what I'm saying? That's how bad it is that we have. We're laughing and joking about that disgusting act. That's not something Israel does. You got something?
Oh God, it's so realistic. You know what I'm saying? Because that goes, like dealing what we dealing with today. Like it's so heavy. Like anybody here that done made a mistake before, like in the world, the moment we done made that mistake, like we were so motivated to make the mistake.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it's done, you like, oh snap, what did I do?
Yeah.
And then it's like that because that demon done left. So it's like, damn, what did I just do? And you start to realize like really the capacity, what it is you just did. And it's like that demon done gone now. Like, now you see, like, you know what I'm saying? Like what you did was foul.
Exactly. And the mess up part is we'll do it again. We'll do it again until we actually know that there are consequences and repercussions. And when I say the consequences is the Most High. Most High knows everything we did. He's going to hold us accountable for everything that we did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's going to keep track of that. And if we actually know that, if we actually like internalize what the Most High, who the Most High is and what he does, how he keeps account of everything that we do, we wouldn't do half the things, you know what I'm saying, that we do on a daily basis. And try and justify it's okay. It doesn't hurt anybody. It hurts the nation. That's what it does. It hurt you. A man lying with a woman and they're kicking her out is hurting the nation. Why? Because she's going to internalize that and think that every man is like that, and it's going to turn her totally against men. So she's going to be a bulldagger, or is going to turn her into a highly promiscuous woman and turn her into a whore. Either way, that community block of our community household is going to be broken down. It's going to be broken down. I saw a post where someone asked, someone asked was like, to the fellas, how would you feel about dating a single mother? And then the response was the first response was like, it's not like we got a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like that's unfortunately that's our reality. Unfortunately, that's our reality. We weren't supposed to be, something like that wasn't supposed to happen unless, a war happened. That woman wasn't supposed to be a single mother unless her husband died from, war or some natural cause, something happened. Not because he doesn't want her anymore. He got her pregnant and he left. Or he got another woman and she kicked him out. Our society wasn't supposed to be like that. We weren't supposed to be no damn single mothers. We weren't supposed to be trying to get with a woman who had, 1, 2, 3, 4 kids and whatnot. All those kids are supposed to be ours. You feel me? You had something, brother?
It's like, quick question. Being that he was in Matthew 1:1, King David is Judah, right?
Yes. He's from the tribe of Judah.
And if I may, add what Barack said, how we just be so set on committing that sin, like what they said about Judah and his sin be etched out with a diamond tip pen or something like that. I always kind of find it kind of crazy. It's a little bit more easier for me to commit sin than the other tribes.
No, that's not correct.
It's not correct.
That's not correct. It's absolutely not correct. What tribe was Adam? What tribe was Eve? You understand? It's no easier for one tribe to commit any sin than any other tribe, right? Anytime of Judges, the tribe of Benjamin went to war with Judah for being faggots, for having faggots, and not the tribe was faggots, but having faggots there. and not doing anything about it. Today, who's pioneering homosexuality? Which tribe?
I'd say Judah.
Yeah. And all the other tribes follow. It ain't easier for one or the other. Sin is sin. You as a person, you gotta check yourself. Not you personally, but everybody. But don't ever say it's easier for one tribe. That I mean to cross and teach. But that scripture you're talking about was a time where all that was in the land was Judah. And the house of Judah is not just Judah. It's Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. If you know the history and the split of the kingdom. You understand? So when he says the house of Judah is sin etched in stone, imagine you have children and you kick your other children out for doing crack in your basement and whoring up out upstairs and murdering. And you keep one child and give them everything. And then this motherfucker now, he start doing what everybody else was doing. You're going to be like, your shit, the shit you doing is like, you can't change. He was just mad with us. It's not him saying Judah is more prone to doing something than all the others. That's not what he's saying. You get it, point? No, sir.
I can't add anything to that. So let's just move on.
No sweat,
dog. That's exactly what I needed, sir. Let's move on. We're at verse 16.
Yeah. Verse 16. And she said unto him, there is no cause. This evil in sending me away is greater than the other that thou didst unto me. But he would not hearken unto her.
Again, she's trying to talk some more sense to him. He ain't listening. He ain't listening. Just keep on moving, just for time's sake.
Verse 17. Then he called his servant that ministered unto him and said, put now this woman out from me, and bolt the door after her.
So, that's just that word right there, ministered. It's so fitting because that's exactly what Christians do. They minister unto everybody else, and they give the absolute wrong counsel every single time. Every single time they give the wrong counsel, they minister unto everybody, and they give counsel just like this. You know what I'm saying? And so he told them, after he did what he did, he was like, man, get her out of here. She don't want to leave. Get her out of here and lock the goddamn door behind her.
Let's take some weed from.
What do you think he did?
The prestige of who we are.
What do you think that the guy administered
to open
did?
If it comes in later, then fine. To open with it.
What? As far as when he was charged?
No, after he told him, get her out of here and bolt the door after her and lock it out behind her. What do you think he did?
Let's see if we get
just what he was told.
Exactly. He's just as evil as Amnon. He's just as evil. He's just as culpable of that rape and putting her away as Amnon. Keep going.
It's not gonna work.
Verse 18. And she had a garment of diverse. And she had a garment of diverse colors upon her, for which such robes were the king's daughters that were virgins of Pearl.
Right.
Then his servant brought her out and bolted the door after her.
So he got her, put her clothes up on her, and got her up out of there, and closed the door and locked it behind her. Put her out and locked it behind her. This is evil. Both of them, what they did is evil.
Just 4 minutes. Then we have a really grind.
Keep going.
Verse 19. And Tamar put ashes on her head and rent her garments of diverse colors that was on her, and laid her hand on her head and went on crying.
So what's she doing?
She's like in agony and like she's what's the word for it? She's mad. She's
Yeah, exactly. She's basically she's mourning. She's mourning of what's going on. She rent which means ripped her clothes, her beautiful princess clothes, put ashes on her head, and just went on crying.
Sloppy. Where are they finding all these ashes from?
Well, we have a lot of since it's burning and whatnot. This is one of the ways we have smell good. You know what I'm saying? So it's ashes everywhere. And then how we cooked was on an open fire. We didn't have a stove where it was you just turn the electric on or turn the gas on. It wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? So it is easy to get ash. You know what I'm saying? For light. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't the sun out, you had torches burning and whatnot. So it's easy to get ash.
Sloppy. I just had to put myself there. Like, where are they getting all these ash from? Sloppy, you right?
You ever seen any like a medieval movie or whatnot? Game of Thrones. They have torches and whatnot. All the way they cooked on an open fire. We didn't have electricity like we do now. You know what I'm saying? So it's not hard to get ash. So she put ash on her to it's sort of what we do when we mourn as well. So this is what she's doing. So she's basically mourning what she went through, what she's going through right now. Keep going.
Verse 20. And Absalom, her brother, said unto her, hath Amnon thy brother been with thee? But hold now thy peace, my sister. He is thy brother. Regard not this thing. So Tamar remained desolate in her brother Absalom's house.
So what just happened? What is he saying?
Basically, saying like Moses happened. He kind of didn't believe her. And he told her, don't say nothing.
Well, he asked her a question first. What did he ask?
Had Amnon, thy brother, been with thee?
So what is he asking? So in today's terms, what did he ask?
Did they get together? I mean, did they have sex?
And then what happened? Then what else went on?
He said, but hold now thy peace. Like, don't say nothing.
Exactly. Why is he saying that?
Maybe he doesn't want everybody to know what he about to do.
What do you think he's about to do?
Everybody would do if somebody got raped your sister.
Let's continue reading and see what he means by hold thy peace. Keep going. Verse 21.
Verse 21. But when King David heard of all these things, he was very wroth.
Wow. So the king heard about it. And he's pissed off. Let's see what he does.
Verse 22. And Absalom spake unto his brother Amnon, neither good nor bad.
What does that mean?
He's kind of like playing like he ain't know. Like, he let him on that he knows. So it's kind of told him like it was a regular day.
Nah, this just means he ain't talked to him at all. He didn't say hi, hello, how you doing? He didn't say I'm gonna kill you for what you did to my sister. He ain't say a word. He spoke neither good nor bad. So he can't. Whenever he enters the room, don't say nothing to him. He ain't say nothing to him. Keep going.
For Absalom hated Amnon because he had forced his sister Tamar. Verse 23. And it came to pass after 2 full years that Absalom had sheep shearers in Baal-Hazor,
right,
which is beside Ephraim.
Right.
And Absalom invited all the king's sons.
So 2 years, nothing happened. King didn't do anything. Ammon didn't do anything. Absalom didn't do anything. It took 2 years for it was 2 years from the time that the rape happened to where we are right now. Now, Absalom is having a feast. He's calling everybody, all his family, his brothers, all the king's sons to this party. But Absalom hates him. He didn't talk to him for 2 years for what he did to his sister. Keep going. Verse 24.
Verse 24. And Absalom came to the king and said, Behold, now thy servant hath sheep shearers. Let the king, I beseech thee, and his servants go with thy servant.
So he's asking the king, hey, he's having, sheep shearers. Can I go? Can me and your servants go? Can we go? Keep going.
Verse 25. And the king said to Absalom, Nay, my son, let us not all now go, lest we be chargeable unto thee. And he pressed him. Howbeit he would not go, but blessed him.
What does that mean? He would not go, but bless him. For time's sake, he's saying, I'm not going, but you good. You can go. That's what he's saying. I'm not going, but you can go. Keep going.
Verse 26. Then said Absalom, If not, I pray thee, let my brother Amnon go with us. And the king said unto him, Why should he go with thee? Verse 27. But Absalom pressed him, that he let Amnon and all the king's sons go with him.
Why is he pressing to let Amnon go? Why does he want Amnon to go?
I imagine he's plotting.
He's plotting hard. And when he asks, why do you want Amnon to go? He was like, oh, well, let all the king's sons go, all your sons. So it's not just him. So he's like, yeah, let all the sons go. Keep reading.
Verse 28. Now Absalom had commanded his servants, saying, Mark ye now when Amnon's heart is merry with wine.
So keep reading.
And when I say unto you, smite Amnon, then kill him. Fear not.
So what is he saying? What's the plan?
It's like he's saying, tell his servants, keep an eye on him. As soon as he real drunk, let me know. Or as soon as he real drunk, y'all kill him. Yeah, exactly. So he's plotting on him. He's plotting on him. Keep going. Fear not. Have I not commanded you? Be courageous and be valiant.
So why is he telling them fear not?
Because they would be killing the king's son.
Exactly. So why shouldn't they be afraid?
Because the king's son gave them the order.
They're following orders. Keep going.
Verse 29.
Hold on. Let me make a point of this. Is that righteous what the servants, if they follow that order, is that a righteous order?
Nah.
Why?
Thou shalt not kill.
It says thou shalt not kill, but it's thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not murder. So you're saying it's not a righteous order because
it's not right. It's murder.
But what Amnon did was a death penalty offense. What he did, he should be dead. I mean, is that right or is that wrong?
That's right.
So if they follow this order, would that be a righteous order?
But don't the priest have to give the order? Like he has to go before somebody and they say you get put to death and then you get put to death.
Exactly. It's not a righteous order. Even though Absalom, the king's son, told him to do it, they shouldn't have followed that order because that's not righteous order. We don't carry out vigilante justice in the kingdom. That's not what. Even though Amnon did that thing to be put to death, he still needs to be tried, brought before a priest, have charges laid in front of the priest, and if he's found guilty, the priest will carry out that judgment. Not the person's family. That's not how the way it's supposed to be done. So what he's doing is absolutely wrong. What King David should have done, even though that was his son, he should have had him brought before the priest. Have him brought before the Levites and told them what's going on and prove what had happened. And then that judgment would have been, carried out. But what he's doing, what Absalom is doing, is totally wrong. What these servants, if they carry out that order, what they're doing is totally wrong. Shouldn't happen. That's not how the way we operate in the kingdom. Keep going.
Verse 29. And the servants of Absalom did unto Amnon as Absalom had commanded.
So they killed him. They waited till he was drunk. Absalom gave him the order. They killed him. Keep going.
Then all the king's sons arose, and every man gat him up onto his mule, upon his mule, and fled. So
they seen what happened. It was kind of like, you ever seen a movie where it's not funny, but you ever seen a movie when there's a prison scene and someone gets shanked or someone gets killed, everybody sees it and everybody just walks away? It's kind of like what happened there. They knew why he was killed, and everybody in prison, when someone gets got, they know why they got, but no one's seen a thing. All they go to do is just go back to their bunk, just get out of there, get the hell out of there. They knew why Absalom had that happen, so everybody just left, just fled the scene. Keep going.
Verse 30. And it came to pass, while they were in the way, that tidings came to David.
What does that mean, tidings came to David? Like word, right? All right, keep going.
Saying, Absalom hath slain all the king's sons, and there is not one of them left.
So they said, word came back saying that, Absalom killed all the king's sons, and only Absalom's the one that's left. It is very important to not only just take what you heard, but take what you heard with a grain of salt and actually verify that. Because if he heard that, he would probably mount it up and went after Absalom when what he heard was not true. You know what I'm saying? It was probably most likely it was chaos that happened. Someone must have seen one son die and then ran and got out there and told the king. He was like, well, he must have been, wanting to take over the kingdom. So he's trying to eliminate all the king's sons so that he can actually be the king. Right? So that's a lot of chaos is happening. It's happening at that time. He is a good thing that he didn't act upon that first word. And he actually waited till more word came by. And we're going to read that now. Keep going.
Verse 31. Then the king arose and tear his garments and lay on the earth. And all his servants stood by with their clothes rent.
So they did exactly what the king did. Because they weren't too happy about seeing, about hearing that all the king's sons were killed. Most likely, not most likely. They if they were the king's servants, they knew the king. They went everywhere the king went. They knew the kids. You know what I'm saying? They knew all his sons. So they've grown to come to love his sons just as much as he loved them because they were around them so much. So at the hearing of possibly all his sons are dead except for one, they were displeased about it as well. They rented their clothes as well. Keep going.
Verse 32, and Jonadab, the son of Shemaiah, is it right?
Yeah, Shemaiah.
David's brother, answered and said, let not my lord suppose that they have slain all the men, the king's sons. For Amnon only is dead. For by the appointment of Absalom, this has been determined from the day that he forced his sister Tamar.
So he's saying, don't worry, only one of your sons are killed, and that was Amnon, and Absalom did it because he was thinking about this since the day he raped Tamar. And the reason why he did it was because he raped Tamar. And this is what the final word that came to King David. So let's continue reading just for time's sake.
Verse 33. Now therefore let not my lord the king take the thing to his heart, to think that all the king's sons are dead, for Amnon only is dead.
Keep going.
Verse 34. But Absalom fled, and the young man...
Why did he flee?
He knew he did wrong.
It's something Amnon should have did, but he didn't. He did this thing everybody knew he did it, and he just walking around like nothing happened. Absalom fled because he knew how the king was, and he could have been put to death for this offense. Why? Because it wasn't his job to do what he did. Even though it feels right to do that, feels right to take justice in your own hands, there is a system that the Most High put in place for us to actually get justice. And that system is perfect. All we had to do was actually put charges on, all Absalom had to do was charge Amnon for what he did. The father already knew. He knew. All of Israel knew. But no one brought charges for it. Just like what that statistic was saying, it was something like only 53% of sexual assault victims actually come forward. He ran because he knew he did wrong. He shouldn't have done it. Keep going.
Verse 34. But Amnon fled, and the young man that kept the watch lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there came much people by the way of the hillside behind him.
Right, keep going.
35. And Jonadab said unto the king, behold, the king's sons come. And thy servant said, so is it.
Right.
36. And it came to pass, as soon as he had made an end of speaking, that, behold, the king's sons came and lifted up their voice and wept. And the king also and all his servants wept very sore.
So all these people came after Amnon, right? And this is what's going on. They're very they're mourning the death of their brother, the king, the death of his son, and possibly the losing another brother, another son. Keep going.
37. But Absalom fled and went to Talmai, the son of Ammihud,
right,
king of Geshur. And David mourned for his son every day.
So Absalom fled. He left Israel. He went to another land because he really believed that his father was going to kill him. Keep going.
38. So Absalom fled and went to Geshur and was there 3 years.
Right.
39. And the soul of King David longed to go forth unto Absalom, for he was comforted concerning Amnon, seeing he was dead.
So there's a saying, there's an old saying that time heals all wounds, right? So King David, he lost his son Amnon, but he understood why, Absalom did that. He loved Absalom, and reason why he fled, like I said, the reason why he fled is because most likely King David was going to kill him for doing that. But time passed, 3 years, time to be exact passed, and he wanted to see his son again. He wanted his son back, with him. And he's saying, I understand why Absalom did that. You've been away for 3 years, time has passed. I'm good. I'm good with, with what happened. I would rather have you here than to have me kill another one of my sons. Anybody have any questions?
Nah.
And all this would have been, all this would have been avoided if what? This is. Let's see if you've been paying attention. This might not be from this class. It might be from a few classes ago. Why was this situation happening?
It's like we'll pop. I mean, we started away from before the rape or after the rape.
Why any of this situation? What the rape or the killing or the fleeing? You want to take a stab at it?
Nobody sought counsel.
That's one thing.
I'm correct, but then overtake my stuff. It goes all the way back to the source and not depart from David's house.
Exactly. The source should not depart from David's house. This is conflict and strife. This is conflict and strife. What happened to make the sword not depart from David? What did David do? Yeah.
He slept with another man's wife.
What else?
And he had him killed.
Exactly. So the sword should not depart from it. This is part of the curses that happen. This is part of David not fighting his demons. And because David didn't fight his demons, both his sons didn't fight their demons. And he has one son dead, one daughter raped, and another son that's on the run. And this son is actually trying to take over the kingdom, even though he forgave him and brought him back into the kingdom. He told him to stay in this side of the land, but he didn't, and he tried to kill his father and have him and take over Israel. That's part of David's curses. This all goes back to fighting your demons. Why it's so important to fight your demons. And all this happened years later. This didn't happen right off the bat. Most High, had this plays a long game. You think you might have gotten away with something, but the Most High remembers exactly what you did, and He's going to hold you accountable for everything we do.
You know what?
Anybody have any questions before I pass the class off?
Nah.
With that, I pass the class off to Rob.
Security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York, under Commander Jenny YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are to shed themselves of the word. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. In the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew, and it's pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department of teacher. Priest fund, free will offer for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. The upcoming holy convocation would be, the next one would be the Feast of First Fruits. The date will be
May 22nd.
Sundown, May 2nd of 2021. It's 27.
No, it's 22nd. Yeah, that's
27.
the old one.
Come. May 22nd of 2021. You can find this in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 10 through 22. As well, tonight is Commander Junior Honda's Monday Night Black Watch radio channel show. You want to make sure you tune in. It's from 9 p.m. Eastern time to 11 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to stream. Like, share, subscribe. Anything you want to add on that?
No.
Okay. Remind Akim and Agwakin to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headband or scarf. And with that, I say Amajin, which means to stand. Just gonna do one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel, Amajin Shabbat, Amajin, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah Barakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Barakatah.
Yahweh Class dismissed.